Hey, how you doing today? £10 to £20 mods. I'm going to run you through them. This little rulo here, it's you can change the wattage on it. I'm running an X-Baby Cloud Beast on it with just a 20 to 50 watt smock coil in there. That means you can start it off at 20 watts to 50, best 30 watts. Got it? Right, that's the first one I'm going to review. And the second one is the Smock Vape 22 pen. Check it out, 10 quid I got it for on eBay. 10 quid. Right. Also going to do this. It's a Terminator mod. You can change the battery on this one. The other ones you can't. They've got a built-in battery. Right, I'm running a 3000 milliamp Samsung battery in it with a mini mellow free tank on it. It's up to 150 watt. In fact, I'm just going to check that with my Inspector Clouseau gadget. The wattage. The wattage is 50 to 80 watts. Sorry, it's so small the writing. 50 to 80 watt, 5 ohm. I think it's 5 ohm. Right, so we'll do the little test. I'm also going to do this one, which is the E-Leaf Pico. I got it for 12 quid on eBay. Comes with a tank and 2 coils. There it is, check it out. Nice little mod. Screw that off, put your battery in there. It's got a nice little display on it. I've got it on bypass, right? You can ask me questions about that later, because bypass just makes it work as the computer in this mod. The computer says what the coil gets, so it analyzes the coil and says, oh, this is the best power for the coil. Now I'll tell you something about that. Is I've put this tank on big mods and they always analyze the coil and show you what they think it should start at, right? And normally it says 42 watts for this tank, so I'm presuming that this is on bypass is going to do 42 watts, right? And that's later on. So this is the same, the Terminator. It analyzes the coil and gives the coil or the tank what the mod thinks the tank should run at, right? That's what they do. This one, which I'm going to do first off, you can adjust the power to give to the coil yourself, right? But I'll just have to say that, excuse me, that the putting the power up and down when you think it's getting a bit weaker ain't going to make much difference to the power it's giving to the coil. Really, it just doesn't work that way. Excuse me, just let me have a drink of coffee. Hey, winter is coming. Who's waiting for the next episode? Stark. King of the North. I love it. Right, all these mods are like 10 to 20 quid, right, which I've found on eBay. Now, people sell these for 35 quid. I found a seller in London, real nice fella, right. I made him an offer and he took 20 quid for it, right. And you know, the guy sent me 2 free juices, a couple of other things. I forget what was in the baggie, but I couldn't believe that this seller had sent me all this stuff for 20 quid. So I did give him a plug when I did a review on this. I'm sure I did. Said thanks a lot and all that. And because I don't really do plugs very often, because I don't really get stuff given to me for a review. I buy the stuff myself. Now you see reviewers, they say, oh, it's not going to make any difference to my review. If you badly upset someone, they're not going to send you any more shit, are they? Hardy, if you upset someone who sends you something, they're not going to send you something else for review, Hardy. Not in my book anyway. But that's just between me and you. You make your own decision up about that. Because I've had some very different reactions from sellers, and recently one last night. I'm sure the guys tuned in today to see what I'm saying about it, but yeah, I'll show you this one as well. This is the Weissmech Sinuous. Now check that out for bling, right? And brilliant if you want to be a rapper. Check that out, man. Whoa, yeah, you can see yourself doing it on the decks in a nightclub using one of these. Nice big fat 4.5mm tank on it. But check it out. It cost me 20 quid. 20 quid. They're selling them for 35 on eBay. What a rip-off. Right. I don't hate sellers. I just don't understand why they don't give you a better price on stuff, because they all want to drive around in their Audis and BMs, don't they? Right, so they want as much as they can get off us guys, the consumers. As they can, and they don't really give a monkey's about after sales service half the time. I'll go into that later, because I have had a few different things, people reacting differently over the year, but not more recently than one reaction, and this was over a coil. See this? It was over a coil for this mod. Right, I'll talk about that at the end of the show. We don't want to dwell on it, and I won't mention any names, but I'll just tell you what happened. Right. Now, I am not a vaping guru, okay? Wicked email. Anyway, it's all set up, ready to fire there. So we're going to do this one. We're on the rouleau. See that? I think it's got a certain name, Joe something on it. See that? I can't read it, to be honest. Let's have a look at it. I still can't read it when I look at it. Oh. J-Bow, apparently it's quite a good brand name from the company Weissmech, right? And I rate this little mod, unbelievable, fire anything, right? Well, check this out on 25 watts. Did you catch that? Did you check that out? 25 watts, right? Now check this. It's on an X-Baby Cloud Beast tank. I've closed the airflow off to about just over halfway, right? Check it out. I'll open it up, but I'll just do a few pulls on it. 25 watts. You ready? $25 watts. See that? Now that coil will go in any of the smoke range tanks. The V8 Baby, which is the one smaller than this. This is the X-Baby Cloud Beast, the original Cloud Beast, this tank, and you can see why. And it'll go in the Big Baby Beast. I've got one of them on a go there, I'll show you that in a minute. But 25 watts, check it out. You don't need all the big stuff to get a decent vapor or a cloud or anything like that. They're little 20 to 50 watt coils in there, and you can see that it's on 25 watt. Its best is 30 watts. Right, now I've got it on 25. Check that out, look. Check that out, 25 watts. Your battery's going to last for a week at that sort of power. Right, excuse me. Now that's a smoke tank on a Weissmech rouleau, right? Now I got it for 20 quid, but you know, I've seen them for sale for 35 quid. I've not seen another one for sale for that, so there's no point in me sending you the link. Now this is one of my all-time favourites, cheap and cheerful, but check this out, it's a smoke 22 pen with a 3 ohm coil in it. Now I don't know the power ratings, but you know, from other reviewers, because I watch a lot of other reviewers, they reckon it's about 40 watts. I don't know, but check the vapor out on it. £10 I got this for on eBay. Come in a box, 2 coils, everything with it, and you know, it's as cheap as a packet of cigarettes. Check it out. I've had this months, this, and it's still going on the built-in battery. I don't know how long it's going to last, but obviously you throw them away, but really you don't. You can use a battery pack on this. You know, if you get this mod and you want to keep using it, you can have a battery pack and a USB cable in there and still use it with the USB cable in it. In fact, when I've been out and about to vape shops, I see people with a battery pack, and not in this particular mod, but in the USB, and still using it instead of throwing it away. That's up to you, you know what I mean. If you want to do that, that's up to you. Let's get back to the vapor on this. Smok 22 pen, 10 quid. I found them as cheap as £7.50 on eBay. Just a bit of an older model, but still work really good. Check it out. Check that vapor out. And all this oil is 70-30, not 80-20. If you use 80-20 a lot, it's going to burn your coils out. Believe me, your coil ain't going to last long. Alright, but we'll have another little pull on it. Check it out. See that? It's as good as the Rouleau in it, the other mod I just showed you. Brilliant. It's only going to last about 4 hours with constant use, you know. If you use it intermittently through the day, you know, it's going to last you a day. You know, if you're going to use it on your lunch break or a little tea break or anything like that, it's going to last you a day, no problem, really. But if you use it a lot, it's going to do the battery in. Especially if you put 80-20 oil in it, it'll fire pretty good, but the thicker the oil, the more work it is for the battery. Okay, bit of advice for you there. But I'm going to do a quick little chain pull. Now that's what I call having a hit off one, right? Because I'll be honest with you, most of the time when I'm using a little mod like that, if I'm out and about, I'm just using it like a cigarette. Like that. And you can use any of these mods just like that. You don't have to pull the coil through the mouthpiece or suck it to death, as I'd say. Excuse me. You can just use it like a cig like that. I've got lots of other mods I use like this, you know, like a pipe. And you only have to touch the button for a second. Watch. I'm going to count it down. Ready? One second, you see that? There's a little mod stem, 22 pens. I have got a 22 pen plus. It's just got a bigger battery on and lasts a bit longer. Right, this mod, 90 watts it puts out, this mod. But it doesn't mean it's going to put 90 watts out all the time. It means it's going to analyse, and it can do any coil up to 90 watts if you put something really big on it. It just makes its own decision, as I said earlier, about what power it's going to give to the tank. Now check this one out. Are we all fired up? This is the Mini Mellow 3 on a Terminator mod. 12 quid for the mod on eBay. 12 quid. And you get an RDA with it for 12 quid. I mean, that is a bargain. But just check it out. Bigger pull. See that? The more you do a bigger, sort of faster pull on it, the more you're going to get. As you can see, works alright. 12 quid. Change the battery on this one. I'd advise getting one that you can change the battery on. You keep the mod for longer. Up to you. If you want a disposable one or one that you can change the battery on. Now this Mini Mellow 3, this tank, I don't know if it's the Mellow 3, it's a Mini Mellow tank, but I don't know what model they call it, I can't remember, but it is an E-leaf tank. And this one I just showed you on the Terminator, there's a E-leaf tank as well. See that? Same company, same coils in it. The coil inside is the same, exactly the same inside. Just a different looking tank, different design. Now there we go, this is on bypass. I did mention that before. Now bypass, right, is just makes the mod just like that Terminator mod or the smoke stick pen. The mod decides itself what power it's going to give to the coil in the tank, but you can put it on settings and use it as a variable power like the little rouleau. But I like to leave it on bypass and just let the mod decide what power to give to the coil, instead of scratching your head all the time and thinking, oh, I should have put it on 30 watts or 50 watts or whatever. I just put it on bypass, leave it on bypass and let it decide, and see what you think about the vapor. There we go. Just let it decide itself. See that? No effort at all. And that's just 70/30 juice. Okay, right. I do like these. They're quite stylish. You know, nice little display on it. As you can see there, bypass. See it? I do like them. They're a bit more drawn. You can hear the noise off the tank. Hear that? It seems to be a bit noisier, and you adjust it like that. It's a little screw thing on the bottom, and you open it up like that to adjust the airflow. I just leave everything wide open normally. Really good, isn't it? £12 on eBay. I got it from Kowloon in China. Kowloon. Now, if you remember the name Kowloon and you're a bit of a COD fan, you know, Kowloon is one of the maps in Call of Duty Black Ops. And I googled it and spoke to them. They sent me a few free drip tips and things like that. For that money, you can't beat it. They want 30 quid for one of these in the shop around here. 30 quid, that's, you know, ridiculous money. £12 on eBay. So good, I got two. There's a silver one. I've just got the tank off that on another mod at the minute. Right. I've got to show you this. Right. This Movkin, I got it for 20 quid. Right. It's a big dual battery mod, a Movkin disguiser. The reason it's called a disguiser is you can take that off, take this tube out and put your tank in. It screws in there in the bottom because this screws out, and you get a drip tip that comes out the top, a real long one. So all you've got sticking out the top is a drip tip, and then you put your tank in there, put your cover back on, so all you've got is a drip tip sticking out, so you don't bash your tank about in your pocket or in your bag or out like that. I do think it looks kind of groovy. I don't know about you, but I did get two because they're only 20 quid, and we're on 55 watts with this, and this is the X-Baby Big Beast, right, tank. You can put the coils in from any smock device, will go in there, any coil. This is just a bigger mesh coil. Alright, thought I'd try some of these new mesh coils, but check the vapor out on this. Ready? Nice, real airy, real smooth, you know, like hard to explain. I've got the airflow 50/50 at the minute. Much bigger vapor and all that. Fills your house up with smoke pretty quick, so you want to sit on the back with it or use a smaller mod. It's a monster. You can buy a monster, but the mod was 20 quid. I'm not kidding you. And I got this V8 on a V8 stick, this tank, you know, a smock V8 stick, and just decided to use it on a mod. But you can hear it, it's really smooth. And I know it looks dead big and expensive, but it's in here because it costs 20 quid on eBay. Check it out on eBay, 20 quid. without a tank, but you need a charger. There's no plug-in charger on it. You need to have your own charger for your batteries. Well, there you go, put that one back down there. That was a 20 quid. Now, last but not least, the Wisemac Sinuous. Are we ready to rock and roll with this? Check the vapor out. It's a monster. I wouldn't recommend using it in your car driving along unless you've got the window open. Apparently there's a new law that if the police see you with vaping your device in the car and you can't see out the windows, they can do you for undue care and attention, which I agree with totally anyway. But as I said, if I go out, I usually take a smaller sort of mod with me that isn't going to you know, look like your car's on fire at the traffic lights. Anyway, I recently bought some coils for this, and the first coil that come out of the bag didn't work. It leaked quite a bit. In fact, it leaked all the time. So I contacted the seller. I said, oh, this coil's leaking here, and he said the usual stuff that they replied, like, are you doing this right, are you doing that right? Well, I don't know how to fit a coil to a tank, I'd say, but we'll leave it at that. Anyway, the guy spat his dummy out and said, I think you're, I think that you think, that's a bit confusing, isn't it? He said, you think you're a vaping guru, right? I said, no, I'm not a vaping guru. I said, I'm a vapor, but I'm not a vaping guru, unless people want to put me into legend. And then he said, oh, you've only got 40 subscribers. And I said to him, well, I've only been doing it a couple of months. Anyway, back to the coil. The guy said to me, I've never had any problems with him, right? So I'm talking to him and I said, alright, I'll try another coil out of the pack, because I didn't really want to open another coil out of the package. I was just going to send them back, because if one fails, I think, oh, I don't really want to go through the others. I don't want to keep going through the others and see if any of the others fail, right? So I decided to open another one, because this guy kept saying, oh, I've never had any problems or anything like that. And I said, right, I'll try another coil. So this is coil number 2, and it's working fine, no leaks, no issues, nothing. So I said to him, it must have been the rubber, because I had a look with actually my desk magnifying glass, and it looked like the rubber on the first coil wasn't 100%. Anyway, he said to me, oh yeah, I thought it might be the rubber. This is in an email to me. And I said, well then the coil's had a problem, and you said the coil would never have a problem. It's not the coil. And well, cut a long story short, he contradicted himself badly. Said to me, oh, you think you're a vaping guru. I'm not going to do any names, because you know, I don't want to slag the guy off or anything. But in contrast to what he was saying, he totally contradicted himself about what he said in the first place. Then he said, oh, obviously the coil's had a problem. Yeah, I thought it might be the rubber. Right, and this is what he said. I'll put a free coil in when you buy your next order. So I said to him, why don't you just send me a new coil, because it's a defective coil and you're charging like £3 for a coil. I'm not happy with that. And he said, oh no, I'll put one in when you buy your next lot. And I said, what makes you think I'm going to buy a next lot off you if I've had a problem in the past? I said, you just send me a new coil and let's leave it at that. And he said, I'm not paying the postage. Now the postage is 80p. Right. Now this is an eBay seller. It's 80p to put something in an envelope and send it to you. Right. Now if you're that desperate or you can't afford to do that, you shouldn't be selling stuff on eBay, because I've had a lot more pleasant experiences with sellers on eBay other than someone whinging about one coil not working right. Right. Well, you can take your coil and shove it up your ass, right, when the sun don't shine, because if you can't replace one coil to a customer, then I don't want to buy off you anymore. Anything, nothing. And you saying you don't want to deal with me again over one coil is, well, it's laughable. Any comments? Welcome. And you have been looking at my videos and saying, making references in the email you sent to me about my videos and what I talk about and that. well, you can say what you like, you know, freedom of speech. I'm an ex-soldier. I fought for freedom of speech in the military, and you can say what you like, and I can say what I like. So just fucking deal with it, man. All right, just deal with it, and say what you like. And if you can afford to send someone a new coil over a defective ring on a coil or whatever, that's up to you. You miser. You're a skinny miser, man. What a joke. Anyway, it's working well right now, as you can see. I do like this mod. Excellent vapor. I have to say this is 80-20 oil in there. Well, check that out. And there you have it, all 20 quid on eBay. All those coils, all those mods. And I do recommend though, if you're going to get a battery mod, get a 3000 milliamp battery, you know, for your mod, if you can change the battery in it. It just lasts, even if it's just an hour longer, and it's only a couple of quid more for a 3000 milliamp battery. Because I've got all sorts of 2500s, and they all seem to work, they all work good in the single battery mod, but they all seem to work better in dual batteries when they're 2500s, you know, dual battery mod, they seem to last longer. Right, well that's my little review. I'm not a reviewer and I'm not a guru, okay? I don't think I'm a guru, right? So it's just a personal review, not a review channel, alright? It's just what I think of what I buy. I don't get supplied anything by anybody. I do it for people's benefit when they just want to look at different mods and get an idea and see how they vape. Right, there you go. Make your own mind up and have a nice day. And this is the Guru, down and out.